Today FM is awesome in Ba. We love you, Today FM.
Today FM rocks in the story and I love listening to Today FM.
Today FM is #1 in Televu.
Today FM rocks in Lotaka. Woohoo!
Today FM is the most popular station in Nasina.
We love everything about Today FM here at Golden Point Rekireki.
Everybody in Singataka loves Today FM.
Today FM rocks in Ba.
Today's hit music on Today FM.
In this bulletin, schools cannot force religious activities on students. Police claim possibility of a local importer of illicit drugs. And dengue claims 11 lives, says Health Minister. Good evening, I'm Jackie Spate and this is FBC News. Schools cannot force any student to take part in religious activities outside of their religion, says Prime Minister Vurenge Bainimarama. He says it is the right of every Fijian to follow his or her own religious belief under the Constitution. Shireen Lata has more.
Prime Minister Bainimarama has clarified that every Fijian has the freedom of worship privately and publicly.
And every school has the right to conduct religious instruction, both religious-based schools and government schools. In other words, there is no barrier to any school holding scripture classes or holding prayers, as some people have either mistakenly or deliberately misinterpreted the law.
However, the Prime Minister says the 2013 Constitution prohibits anyone from forcing their particular beliefs on others.
We must give people the choice to choose for themselves. It is a question of common decency. It is a question of fairness, that we must all have the right in life to follow our own beliefs without interference from people or other religions, denominations, the wider community or the state.
Sanatan Dharam Pratinidhi Sabha of Fiji's General Secretary Vijendra Prakash says they have always promoted freedom of worship in cross-cultural activities at Sanatan schools.
Prayer in our Sanatan school is conducted, Sanatan prayer. Those that want to participate, they participate. Those who do not like to participate, they remain silent. They do their silent prayer.
Arya Pratinidhi Sabha of Fiji spokesperson Kamlesh Arya says all students willingly participate in school prayers without pressure in any form. FBC News has also sought comments from the Methodist Church. Church spokesperson Reverend James Bhagwan says they have no problem with the directive given by the government and they are holding discussions as to how they can regulate this policy. Bainimarama says a teacher or a student may choose to participate in religious instructions, ceremony or observance even if it is not his or her own faith or religion. However, he says the choice is entirely that of the individual. Shireen Lata, FBC News.
Police have not ruled out the possibility of a local import of illicit drugs in the country. Assistant Commissioner of Police Rusiate Tunravu says Fiji is now exposed to new hard drugs and the force is now getting ready to counter the arrival of much more. Chanel Sivan with this exclusive story.
It is there, it is coming. We are opening up to other countries. This is a sign of Fiji developing.
A special drug unit and criminal investigation department have been deployed to investigate the emergence of a number of new drugs in the country. Cocaine, crystal methamphetamine and amphetamine are circulating in the legal market. FBC News is reliably informed that hard drugs have been circulating in the capital and in Nandi for quite a while now, at a price of course.
Yeah, those are the new drugs that have been found. As I have stated, as we open our borders, all of these things, people from international countries are coming in. So the only we are trying to strengthen our border police areas.
A recent case is currently being heard at the Suva High Court of a local man, Josese Rakwita, and his daughter Lithia Rakwita, allegedly in possession of a kilogram of amphetamine. Looking at police leads which you are working on at the moment in terms of your investigations, do you think there could be a local importer in this country?
We cannot rule that out. Right? If they are here, that means there is some network going on. So this is an area where we are trying to engage with other police organizations abroad, information sharing. And we do not rule out that there are people here within Fiji that are talking and networking with it, and we have to be on top of this.
ACP Tun Ravu has reiterated Fiji should expect more hard drugs to be smuggled into the country as we increase our exposure to the international community.
You ready to counter it?
We are ready. The Fiji police is ready.
Another drug smuggling case is currently in the court with 60-year-old US citizen Gregory Wilcox reappearing in the Lautoka High Court tomorrow. It is alleged Wilcox attempted to smuggle 3.79 kg of methamphetamine crystals into the country in January. Chanel Shivan, FBC News.
The National Federation Party says it will be difficult to say whether they agree with all the views of SODELPA. Party leader Raman Pratap Singh says the NFP has to clarify some comments made by Rotemu Mukepa last week before deciding whether or not to support SODELPA's political platform. Apisalame Dokar reports.
The National Federation Party has confirmed it is not in a coalition or partnership with the Social Democratic Party or any other party.
I'd like to clarify to all the people of Fiji that all the three parties in the UFDF are fighting the election on their own. So there is no coalition with the SODELPA or any other party at present.
But Raman Pratap Singh says they are part of the United Front for a Democratic Fiji, or UFDO, which also contains SODELPA and the Fiji Labour Party.
The purpose it was formed about 2 years back was to fight for the return of democracy in Fiji. We thought that by getting together will be a stronger force in order to achieve democracy in Fiji.
However, Singh did not elaborate on what getting together with Labour or SODELPA really means. SODELPA leader Rotemu Mukepa says all parties are working together. If they will win the elections, a SODELPA-led multi-party government will be formed.
No, as I said, we are a party in the election itself. Each party will be vying for seats. So it's a statement again made by SODELPA itself. And we would be comfortable to discuss about a multi-party government at the appropriate time. But we cannot concede that they will be in the majority right now when we are also a party in the election.
The PDP, which was also quoted by the SODELPA leader in her speech, says they will comment on the issue tomorrow. FBC News has sent questions to Labour Party leader Mahendra Chaudhry, but he is yet to respond. Apisalame Dokar, FBC News.
Health Minister Dr. Neil Sharma says his ministry is working around the clock to try and contain the dengue outbreak that has claimed 11 lives and affects thousands nationwide. Vosita Kotawasawasa reports.
The recent rainy weather is seen as a major contributor to the disease outbreak. Speaking with Radio Australia, Dr. Sharma said climate change also figures in the current outbreak.
Outbreak was detected in mid-December, and this is a dengue type 3 outbreak, and this is new for Fiji, but we know that we are endemic for dengue infections. Periodically, every 5 years, we tend to have a surge. And what happens this time, it has struck us with the climate change and the erratic pattern of rainfall. We are getting a lot of migration, internal migration into this central division, and there's a lot of people around, there's a lot of rain, there's stagnant pools.
Dr. Sharma says there is a need to strengthen the system so people come forward to get tested.
This is probably an underestimate because the reporting system needs to be strengthened a lot more. And of course, patients sometimes have a higher pain threshold and remain at home for mild illnesses. They don't get tested. And then, of course, when the testing does take place in some patients, if they miss that window phase where the test is positive, they would be negative. So as a consequence, we think we're probably hitting about 15,000 cases already.
The ministry has a major cleanup campaign underway, but the weather will play a major role in the exercise.
If the rainfall subsides and our active intervention advocacy programs, our programs of spraying and clearing domestic and commercial areas continues, then we hope we can do that much earlier. However, if it gets delayed because of increased rainfall and stagnant water, and if we don't do anything,
health department is now encouraging people to report properties where mosquitoes may breed. Dr. Sharma says communities need to work together, otherwise this latest outbreak has the potential to go on for months to come. Vasita Kote Wasawasa, FBC News.
Coming up, new telecenter opens up Kalambu to the world.
Talita na radio fijuan na muirani no bonua.
Ando talita kana borrongo na radio fijuan singa toka boletan station ni alumatu.
Ando talita ka bale una borrongo na radio fijuan station ni alumatu elo toka.
Ando talita ka bale una borrongo na radio fijuan na mandi na station ni alumatu.
Au tuloy korbo. Ando borrongo lebe na station ni alumatu na radio fijuan.
Ando borrongo na radio fijuan na station ni alumatu na mandoi tele.
Na radio fijuan nandu moi bitin bonga ni bienen.
Welcome back. This is FBC News. Human rights activist Reverend Aquila Yambaki has been given 2 months to leave the Citizens Constitutional Forum or face removal. Sources say a special CCF board meeting in Suva yesterday decided that Yambaki's removal was the best option for the organization, citing poor leadership and high staff turnover. Yambaki's contract is still valid for 2 years. Former Dialogue Fiji head Sandra Fong will head the CCF until a replacement is found for Yambaki. Kalambu Secondary School outside of Suva is the latest to receive a telecenter. Prime Minister Vorengem Bainimarama opened the facility this morning, encouraging students to make the best of the facility. He says telecenters like these will transform the lives of ordinary Fijians. Kalambu Secondary School has a roll of over 100 students and before today didn't have a single computer.
You're about to join the 55,000 Fijians who already have access to telecenters in Viti level, in Vuno level, in Obalau and Kandau. And as I keep saying, I will not rest until every Fijian, wherever they live, has the same opportunity.
The Fiji Police Force and other stakeholders concerned about roads and safety met in Suva today to discuss how best they can reduce the number of traffic-related problems in Fiji. The National Fire Authority, the Land Transport Authority and the Fiji Roads Authority met with the Police Traffic Director SSP Mahesh Mishra, primarily to discuss how road fatalities can be reduced. Mishra urged participants to find solutions to the growing number of problems currently faced by members of the travelling public.
It's a collective effort of our stakeholders. That's why we are meeting today here at the control center to address the issues pertaining to traffic congestion, pertaining to traffic investigation, in-depth analysis of our investigation, how we can address those that are contributing factor that causes our road fatalities and road carnage on our road, and also how we can provide the safe road environment to our communities.
The road death toll currently stands at 11 compared to 10 for the same period last year. A farmer is now using his experience and knowledge to help revitalize the rice industry. Yadram has been a rice farmer for 25 years and was sent by the government to Indonesia to study rice farming and apply their practices back home. Eleanor Tarangaiviu reports.
40-year-old Yadram believes there is an abundance of land available for rice farming in the north, but little to no effort is being made to cultivate it.
And if all the farmers, all the available land is cultivated, I am sure we will have rice in abundance. We won't have to import.
We have got land, and what we are trying to do now is to put in rice farmers. We have got enough land to produce the rice that we need.
The government aims to tackle the rice import bill, which currently sits at $40 million a year, by increasing local production.
Request the farmers, please, just cultivate a little area. If you are tired of cultivating a big area, just cultivate 2 to 3 chains and be sufficient. Produce your own rice which you are consuming for whole of the year.
If all the farmers can backyard land free, the government is now pushing on for them to cultivate their land so that they produce rice, even for their household, and the surplus they can sell it to the mill.
For Ram, implementing what he learned from Indonesia has paid off. Other rice farmers are urged to work hard for their own benefit.
In year 2007, government sent me to Indonesia. I studied more about rice, their new technology, and that technology I implemented on my farm, and I harvested 28 tons of rice in year 2009, and I was given the best rice farmer of Fiji.
We want to increase the production so that at least the rural people can have, improve on their local income, household income. And they improve their household income at the same time. They contribute to the national economy. At the same time, we are reducing poverty.
In 2005, 4,300 hectares of rice was cultivated, producing 14,000 tons of unprocessed rice, out of which 8,000 reached local consumers. Recent production has not reached the 2005 level, but the government aims to achieve it this year. Eleanor Turangaiwiu, FBC News.
We turn to sports now, and here's Jamie with the latest.
Good evening. In sports tonight, sponsors behind the $40 million FRU deal launched their brands, and an update from the Vodafone Fiji Sevens camp. This and more after the break.
Mirchi FM is #1 in Singapore.
और किसके सुनिए यार, हमारा एक सच्चा साथी है मिर्ची एफएम लंबा साथी.
I love Mirchi FM. It's so hot. देखे में लाल लाल, खाए में हाय हाय. Tangi taupa में Mirchi FM is hot.
Here at Rugby Town, Singapore, love listening to Mirchi FM. Mirchi FM, it's hot.
Mirchi FM is #1 in Suva. It's hot.
हम इंग्लिश लंबा सा में रहता है, तो क्या बताइए मिर्ची एफएम सुनता है.
Mirchi FM, बहुत जुलूम जुलूम.
Mirchi FM, it's hot.
Welcome back to FBC Sports. The wheels are starting to turn for the Fiji Rugby Union. 5 corporate bodies have got behind the board and last night officially launched their $40 million sponsorship deal, the biggest in Fiji's history. Elena McDonald reports it's even starting to help the union regain the trust of its fans.
Meet the family that's vowed to do all they can to get Fiji Rugby back to its winning ways.
Interesting thing for me to discover, during a rugby match of our team, our sick leaves are nearly double as high as they normally are. Don't laugh, I'm concerned. Have no money and have to sponsor. It's quite inspiring when we think about what this partnership means for us.
It's in line with our community values, where we are giving back to the community and the people of Fiji. And we are all here together because of rugby. Full stop.
So this rugby co-sponsorship and 3 naming rights sponsorships will give us a wonderful opportunity to reach nearly 200,000 households.
The idea is to put dedicated resources behind each competition to ensure that there is depth and sustainability at all levels of Fiji rugby, so that our selectors have a rich pool of talents to draw for our national team.
FRU now has the right executive framework, has access to the funds necessary to implement more development, improve the resources, and of course it has the support of everyone in Fiji, as it always did. And this means that Fiji Rugby can now reclaim its rightful place, and that is at the top.
So here's who sponsors who. Telecom Fiji's adopted the Fiji Warriors, Fijiana and Island Zone rugby brands. Vodafone and Fiji Airways look after the national sevens. Vodafone's also secured the Flying Fijians, the under-20s and the national championship, while Home Finance takes charge of the Fairbrother Sullivan Trophy. CJ Patel Pacific Limited will look after the provincial games. All in all, the odds are looking up for Fiji Rugby. Now it's just a matter of delivering the goods on the field. Elena McDonald, FBC Sports.
The Vodafone Fiji Sevens side will endure tougher training sessions as they count down to Tokyo and Hong Kong. Coach Ben Ryan is looking to fully prepare the team, but is also keeping in mind those just recovered from injuries.
Ryan says he's changed the training, but not overexerting the players.
And we haven't got any soft tissue injuries as of yet. And normally when you get soft tissue, that means that you've got overtraining syndrome. So we're not there. We're okay with that. But I've got to be careful about that because I have changed their training fairly drastically, and I'm aware of that.
Meanwhile, the team's skipper says he wants to play, and no pain, no gain.
But that's what you do with injury, because the leg has to get used to it again. There'll be more pain, but you have to go through the pain. And I can't do nothing else. I can't sit around anymore, because this is the last week. I have to raise my hand up, like I said before, in order to get a spot to the next leg.
The final 12-member team will be named tomorrow, and they will remain in camp until they leave for Tokyo on Monday. Tsalendo Kavak, FBC Sports.
Meanwhile, 2 players with Fijian links have been named in the USA Eagles squad for the Tokyo and Hong Kong Sevens. Hard-running forward Andrew Ndurutalo retains his spot, but all eyes will be on debutant Marcus Satavu. Enlisted in the US Air Force, Satavu was a member of the Serevi Select side that competed in the Bailey's Coral Coast Sevens last year. His versatility makes him a viable option as a forward or a back. That's it from the Sports Desk tonight. Good evening.
The Fijian government has paid Imagination Television 2 Fiji Limited $3.6 million in tax rebate. The production company filmed a TV series called Beauty and the Geek at various locations around the country last year. The company, which spent over $7.7 million here, also engaged the services of 100 Fijians during the shoot. The series was rated as one of the top 5 television shows in Australia and was also well received by audiences in New Zealand.
Is one of the other reasons why we did get into this rebate was to not just the recognition of the multiplier effect of production spend in Fiji, but also for tourism.
This is the highest amount paid so far after the introduction of the 47% tax rebate on movies shot locally. Turning to the weather, it was a wet day across Fiji with showers and thunderstorms reported in all centres. However, it was still warm with Savo hitting a high of 34, Lambasa and Bawa at 33, Suva hit 32, and the cool spots were Nandi and Lautoka at 31. We can expect more wet weather tomorrow with showers across the country and a strong chance of afternoon thunderstorms in many areas. Mariners are reminded there are heavy swells in the west due to the passage of Cyclone Lucy. Looking ahead to the weekend, cloud and showers. Just a recap of our headlines tonight. Schools cannot force any student to take part in religious activities outside of their religion, says Prime Minister Burenge Bainimarama. The Health Ministry is working around the clock to try and contain the dengue epidemic that has claimed 11 lives and affected thousands nationwide. And Colombo Secondary School outside of Suva is the latest to receive a telecentre, taking it to a total of 23 set up by the government. To our poll question now, we're asking, should Fiji have another superannuation fund? Visit our FBC website to take part. Remember, you can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email citizenseyes@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via Facebook page, FBC News. And if you're on Twitter, follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC News or simply hashtag FBC News. That's all from FBC News tonight. We'll be back again tomorrow evening. Good night.